Hey everyone, welcome back to another recap podcast from SNXweave, where we give quick weekly recaps of news and important updates from the previous week from the Spartan Council and core contributors, as well as discuss what the Grants Council and ambassadors are up to, so let's get started. With ETH Denver and the Synthetics offsite now over, we're all counting down the days to the release of futures. Work on the Liquidation Keeper has progressed nicely, and Jackson has been working on merging to Kovan. Caneset is pretty much ready to go, depending on the audit, which is currently in progress and expected to finish this week. Futures will just need to be presented one last time, where its final parameters will be discussed, then it can be released on Kovan. The Quenta team will also be briefed to make sure everything is integrated properly. One of the updates to the SIP for futures is the addition of Next Price. During the Spartan Council meeting, Afif explained that Next Price is necessary for futures because it's important to help keep the funding rate low for arbitrageurs. The team will continue monitoring performance to see how low the fee can be pushed. In case you missed it, the Algebra release went out at the end of last week. This release included SIP 205, which has introduced 3 new synths on Optimism with shorting: AVAX, Polygon, and Euro. This SIP, which was presented again last week, was initially supposed to include Aave and Uni as well, but those fees require a bit of calibration to be deployed on synthetics. Aave and Uni are therefore now in their own separate SIP, pending Chainlink upgrades. The Algebra release came shortly after the Hamal release, which we discussed last week. The new target staking ratio was introduced on the Hamal release, and the council plans to announce the target ratio at the close of each period until the process can be automated. As for the rest of Phase 2, SIP 148 for the upgraded liquidation mechanism is almost done. It's just going through some final reviews in preparation for its audit. The debt pool synthesis is still in audit and will likely be ready to go out at the same time as SIP 148. As a reminder, the debt pool synthesis is a dependency for the debt migration and synth teleporters SIPs, both of which are still in draft. The team actually linked up with Tornado Cash at ETH Denver, and Kane said it turns out totally trustless teleporters is a fairly challenging problem. They're still looking into different solutions to decide on the best option for synth teleporters. SIP 203, to add a volume source fee, is another SIP in draft and will allow integrators to capture fees from the volume they route through synthetics. To do so, an optional source fee will be added as a transaction parameter that can be passed from any front end to the synthetics exchange contracts. The 2 main considerations for this SIP are whether to do a fixed fee or a percentage. The current consensus is 10% of whatever the protocol fee is, but this will be discussed further when the SIP is presented. In Grants Council updates, in case you missed it, there was a big leak in the Discord last week. The leak, which was about the Synthetics NFT project that we've been hinting at, featured a breakdown of different tribes of the NFTs that the Grants Council will be releasing. These tribes will include Synthetics Human Spartan Warriors, Legendary and OG Spartans, Demigods, Undead Masses, Trolls, Quenta Elementals, Thales Philosophers, Lyra Mechanoids, Aelin Aliens, and D-Hedge Dwarfs. Synthetics has such a deep history in the larger Ethereum and DeFi space, and the Universe XYZ team is hard at work with the Grants Council to bring this complex community to life in the form of an equally diverse NFT universe. The council is also working on some lore for this NFT drop and hopes to share it with the community sometime soon. As far as the hackathon, the Grants Council has been speaking with one of the core contributors who will be the Synthetics representative at this event. The council is still confirming the timeline and event dates, however, and is currently in discussion to pull together the documentation for builders. Lastly, for Grants Council updates, thank you to everyone who has submitted a proposal to assist in the Synthetics documentation translation project. As a reminder though, please be sure your proposal includes required time, pricing per 100 words, and a way to verify the translation is accurate. In Ambassador Council updates this week, the ambassadors have been discussing an NFT collaboration with the Grants team. They're exploring the possibility of doing an NFT drop for delegators and future governance participation programs. The hope is to incentivize uni delegations in order to push the proposal to get uni incentives on Optimism. More to come here. Millie also had a conversation with the Grants Council about doing Spartan City Halls that feature grant-specific guests and topics. These could include the teams behind Optimism grants, Aave grants, Compound, and possibly Uni grants as well. They're working on getting these scheduled, so stay tuned. And that's it for today's updates. Be sure to check out our weekly recap blog post, share this podcast link, and let us know what you think and what you'd like to hear more about from SNXweave. Thanks for listening.